Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Nurse Martinez, as they call me. Don't mind the socks. They're my daughter's socks. Forgive me for that. So I wanted to continue with my videos. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe, share me on Facebook. I've also posted my first video on Facebook. Share it. If you have any questions, ask away down in the comment box below, and I'll try to do my best to answer them. I plan on doing videos weekly, once a week. I'll try to do, if I can do more, I'll do more, but as one semester has ended, I have a little break in time to kind of catch my breath a little bit, and then it'll start all over again, and with clinicals and everything, and school with my kids. My son's starting school too, so there's a lot going on. Nursing is actually my second career. Yes, second career. It's never too late. You can always start your second career, whatever it is that you want to do, or continue. Even if you just started a couple of coursework and you haven't finished, and your dream was to always finish, go back. If you want to go back when your kids are in college and you want to be in college too, go for it. I always say it's never too late to learn. You always learn something every day, whether it's at work, whether it's at school, whether it's with your kids. Oh my gosh, my kids have taught me so much. So much. I've never been so scared in my life until I had kids. And I love them, and they're great. And it's, I am a pediatric nurse practitioner student. How I got here, what motivated me to get here, where I am today. So I began straight out of high school, I wanted to go to a 4-year university, always have. That was like a goal, that was a dream of mine. As a Hispanic, it was kind of, I didn't really know how to get there. I didn't even know if that even existed for me, but we had a college advisor come to our high school, and she was very like, you got to do this. If this is what you want to do, I'm going to help you. And at that time, you didn't have, college prep classes or dual credit stuff. It was just AP classes, and you take an exam, and if you pass, you get your credit for school, for college. So I was in that kind of stuff. And so she helped me, and she was like, okay, you're almost towards the end of the year. What do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I knew that I wanted to go to school. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. My overreaching goal was a pediatrician. I thought, no way. That's like so unattainable. It's unrealistic, but I would like to do that. I mean, hey, we always say we want to be a doctor when we grow up. We want to be a police officer. We want to do this, that. And so I started looking into certain programs in certain universities, and nursing, one of them that popped out was nurse practitioner. I had no idea what it was. I didn't even know how to go about it. And I signed up for nursing as my major when I applied for school. But when I got to orientation, I said to myself, well, why can't I be a pediatrician? Why can't I be a provider of some sort? That's kind of what I've always wanted to do. So on orientation, I changed my major. I was like, I don't want to do nursing. I want to do biology. I've always liked biology. I've always liked health sciences. So I decided that's what we're going to do. That's where we're going to go. Believe it or not, I took my MCAT. It's a 5-hour-long test I took. I prepared for it. I got letters of recommendations, even for my director of the biology department. It just, everything. I had everything set, but personal life happens. Life happens. School, I've had to learn that school and certain other aspects of my life are part of my life. My life is my life as a whole. And so that'll be probably another video on another time if it's a good testimony. But I was in my early 20s, and I didn't pursue it for personal reasons. And I was also double majoring, so I have 2 degrees that I completed in 5 years at the university, and I can tell you all about university life, the ins and outs, what I thought about it, all that good stuff. And so my parents just were like, they had no idea what was going on, in a sense, because this was the first time for all of us. And so they supported me. They were like, go for it, do what you need to do. If it's good for you, we'll support you. We'll give you the reasons why we wouldn't if we didn't think it, benefited you, which they did that throughout my rearing, like throughout the entire time that they raised me. That's how they were. So I love you, parents. I love y'all. I love you guys for supporting me Parents, support your kids, trust in your kids. If they want to do something great and something amazing, how little you think it may be or how big you think it may be, I mean, with your support, they can go a long way. And so I appreciate my parents for that. So we did biology. I actually even double majored, as I was saying a few seconds ago. So I have my degree in biology and health education. I was a health educator for about a year and a half, and I loved it. I went to schools at-risk populations and taught about healthcare careers and how to go about it. And I guess I kind of did what my college advisor did in a sense, but not in an advisory role or position. I also went to the Mexican consulate and did workshops and education classes, and I realized how uninformed our community as a whole, and then specifically in our Hispanic community, how much it's needed. And that's where I was like, okay, I love health education. I love health promotion. I love being able to teach someone something that I didn't know myself at one point, and it's making me a better me, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, health physically, everything, every aspect of your life. And so I did that for a little bit, and as I mentioned earlier, nursing was my second degree. So when my husband was finishing his degree, we hadn't had kids yet. I was so adamant about, like, we got to finish school before we have kids. We got to finish school before we had kids. That's a whole another topic. So we finished, I was done. He was finishing up, and I decided, you know what, while he's finishing up, since I already have my degree in biology, I have all my sciences already. My roommates, who were all nurses, because we were, that was my primary major to begin with, to start off with. She was like, Anna, you would love school nursing. Like, I've tried it. It's amazing. Like, you should so do it. I'm like, oh, I don't know. In high school, I tried to do like a help volunteer at a school, thinking maybe I wanted to become a teacher. And I was like, no, not for me. I don't like kids. I don't have patience for kids. God bless these teachers. Until this day, I still think it. I still think, oh my goodness, kudos for y'all that are teachers. Definitely special people to do that special kind of work. And I was like, yeah, no. School, nursing, kids together, no. No. And lo and behold, that's what I'm doing now. I'm a school nurse. And so I was like, okay, well, it was easier to obtain my bachelor's in nursing as a post-bac than it was at starting in, so it's just another 2 years instead of the whole 4 years, instead of 4 years, which I'll explain that on another video too, if you'd like. So I did it. I finished it, and one of my clinicals, so when I was in clinicals, one of them was school nursing. I did bedside, didn't like bedside. Didn't think I'd like bedside. I worked bedside, still didn't like bedside. Love the aspect of nursing, just didn't like the bedside. I was even a tech, like a CNA. I had that too. Patient care assistant in the hospital while I was going into nursing. While I was in nursing school, I was pregnant in nursing school. I have so many topics I can tell y'all about. It's the day in the life of Miss Nurse Martinez, and so. Yeah, it's just, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as a tech. I enjoyed it, but I knew it's just not for me. There's certain things that aren't for certain people, and just like school nursing, it's not for everybody, but I enjoy it. I love it. And so when I did my first clinical rotation in a school at-risk, very high-risk population, the nurse that I was with was amazing. We were together for a brief moment, and she taught me so much, and she just really opened up that door, maybe even God behind her. I believe it was God behind her opened up that door for me, and I was like, this is it. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to teach. This is where I want to provide care, and do whatever I can on my end for these kids and their families. And as a school nurse, there's very limited resources, and there's a lot of rules and regulations, a lot of protocols as your nursing scope of practice, as well as protocols in the school. There's so many things that one doesn't really, people think, oh, you just put Band-Aids and give ice bags everywhere. Yeah, majority of the time, yes, but I feel like 99% of the time I'm teaching while I'm doing that, and I'm providing care not only to the kid, to the teachers, teaching them how to better assist their student that needs these medical assistive, whether it's medications or devices or whatever, how to help them to help their kid better achieve in school, as well as the parents, so they're not having to miss out every time you turn around or having to pick up their kid every time you turn around, because they got to work too. I got to work too. And so I really, really love it. And I've always loved it. And I, as a health educator as well, I just kind of brought that in with me as a school nurse. And I knew I always wanted more. I knew I always wanted to be a type of provider. I looked into nurse practitioner. I didn't know what that meant when I was in high school. And then as I was in my nursing degree, practicing it, living it, all that good stuff, having my kids, I learned that I wanted a little bit more. I always wanted to treat. I always wanted to care and provide, and in some way. And I started thinking about my master's, because they have masters in nursing and education, masters in a nurse practitioner. They even have your DNP, your doctorate of nurse practice. So many other things, so many ways. And I was like, you know what? I said in high school I wanted to be a nurse practitioner. I didn't even know how to go about it. And now I do. Maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe I can't. And I really second guessed myself. And I didn't know if that's something that I really wanted to do. I didn't know if I was capable of doing. So, I figured, I don't know, just same thing, I tried it once, I don't know. So I thought about it. I talked to my husband about it. I prayed about it. Oh, did I pray about it? I prayed and prayed. I cried. I what ifs. I second guessed. And I was like, I don't know. And I thought, you know what? I got on my knees, and I prayed. And I was like, Lord, this is something that I've always wanted, to be in a provider role. To care for patients, manage their care, treat them, their whole family, not just the patient, the pediatric patient. But I really want to do this. But if it's not for me, okay, I move on. But if it's for me, that you open these doors for me, like he has with everything that I've done. If it wasn't for me, he'd remove it. He'd close the door. But I knew he had something better for me, and he always did. And if it was for me, he would open the doors wide open, and it felt like it was a breeze, like, wow, this is really easy to do. But I knew behind that it was God telling me, yeah, this is where I want you right now. This is what you're capable of in this season of your life. So I talked to my husband, I talked to my parents, my siblings, and they're like, go for it. And I was like, I don't know, my kids are little. And they're like, yeah, go for it. And I'm like, but my kids are little. Like, do you know how crazy that would be if I wanted to just uproot everything, their whole routine, just because I want to do something for myself like that? They're like, Anna, yeah, why not? They're little, they're not going to remember very many things. As when they get older, this would be the time, we can help you in whichever way. My husband said the same exact thing. He was the first one I went to about it. And I thought about it, and I was like, I don't know, when I had my first, I thought about it, and then I had my second, and I was still in the back of my mind, and I was like, you know what, God, okay, if this is for me, you'll open the doors. I still get a little emotional about it, because it's something I've always wanted to do, and I applied, and he opened the doors. And the only thing I did ask God is, if you open these doors for me, please let me have time for my family, for my church. Make sure my kids don't even realize when I'm missing because I have a clinical or because I'm studying or whatever the case may be. I was like, just make sure that doesn't happen. And he made sure that didn't happen. Like, he made sure that I have all the time. And so here I am. I have 1 year left. I'm super excited. There's different specialties, and we can talk about that another time, but I am so excited. I'm almost done. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's so tiny, but it's there. And so I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. Subscribe, share, ask questions. I'll answer them, and I'm excited. So have a great day.